Greetings, friends and fellow cigar boss, guitar enthusiasts. Dale Puckett here, and I'm officially in the home stretch on this build here. You know the feeling, man, when you turn in that corner and you start getting all frantic, running to the finish line to hurry up, and you got to tell yourself, slow down. No, but seriously, I only got about maybe another hour before I'm ready to string it up, tune it up, and tear it up. I did want to just point out a few of the obvious. It's like, my gosh, this is just turning out to be a stunning looker, and this thing will be a player as well. So yeah, so I'm going to start busting ass right now and getting this ready to a point where we can actually hear what it sounds like. So a couple of interesting things so far. So the little notch piece here that we cut out for the neck, it just so happens that this wood here is amazing wood. It is it's a cedar, right? But it's like so thick, man. So these edge walls here, these edge walls on these boxes are thicker than a quarter, and it makes for a substantial, solid. I did paint the inside back to white again. It was black, and then I went back to white and then sanded it. So when you look through the sound holes, you can actually see multicolors in the sound hole. And the other thing too is that I was working in here and I collected all the dust. So this is all the original dust. I mean, obviously there was probably more. This is probably all that I managed to keep. So I am keeping all of the dust that this guitar generates. And it's not just dust. It's paper filings from filing that. It's some steel wool. There's some actual real dirt in there too as well. I did see a toothpick in there. I'll leave the toothpick in there. Why not? Oh, it jumped out. It jumped out. But anyhow, so look at this. It just so happened to be right at the exact spot for the, what's this called? The elegancia. Am I saying that right? Elegancia. Just so happened to be right there. Anyhow, I'm saving this piece of wood right now. I'm also saving the wood from the sound holes. So those will go in here as well. And I also wanted to show you these grommets for the sound hole covers. Oh, don't spill the dirt. Yeah, so these sound holes, I mean, if in the future you want to take off the grommets, here's what the grommets are going to be, then you can get back to the wood. And I did stain and file this so that in the case that this either falls off or gets taken off purposefully, then it's still going to sound good, or still going to look good, rather. Anyway, so we got two of these, one for the top and one for the bottom. And because these are just flush mount, I'm going to have to put some screws in here to hold these things in place here. Oh no, this one's different. This one here is the flush mount. Okay, so one can go in and one can go flush mount. So I'm actually acquiring quite a bit of dirt and dust here. Is actually part of the pick here from the inlays, from the abalone inlays. Anyhow, so yeah, so I marked where the neck goes. Again, I'm saving all this dust. All the sawdust is being collected. In the sawdust pile. Oh yeah, another reason to get these long shaft, where'd it go? The long shaft jacks is because, man, if you're gonna have to go through big old thick wood like this, those threads, man, they're perfect for here. So if you have these thicker walls, then definitely get the long shaft. So we got offset sound holes with, these are just the shower curtain rings. Of course, I spray painted them and drilled them so that they would be flush mount. And yeah, I think we're out to, we had the personal sound hole and then the sound hole for y'all out there. I did do something a little different on this build here. So this is a 23-inch scale instrument. And if you'll notice, where I put the piezo is directly behind where the saddle's going to be. So where the saddle's going to be is right where the trough ends, and the piezo is moved back about 1/2 inch. So this style of build is a nod to Jeff Patterson, who in his builds, the tops don't touch anything. They're just, they are alive and floating. And we have the technology. We're gonna actually work on that next. But as far as this build goes, I did want to minimize the amount of top touch, if that makes sense, right? So it's only along the edges here, and then here, and then of course these blocks are smaller. So I've tried to reduce the amount of mass that's touching the top here by moving this trough all the way back, as far back as I could, and moving the piezo back as well. And I can tell there's definitely got some volume on this. It's a lot more liver than normal. So this one is number 514, and we are screwed on the back through the blocks, through all the dirt. Another little nod to Jeff Patterson is, if you'll notice here, I left a little shelf right there. Can you see that? It's almost like a perfect little shelf. In the past, I would put like the eyes and a nail and force the strings down, or you know, a guiding screw here to kind of keep everything in line here. This one here, I just took a regular piece of extra board that I had left over, fretboard material board, which is a 1/4 inch, which is the exact thickness that I left there. And then I set it there and measured it off and cut it off, so it looks almost kind of like a nut here. I still need to do a little carving on it, but you can see here that the little grooves in there are cut to match the strings. So this guy here will act like a little string retainer, and then launch it, just hold it in place. This is a larger fret than this. It doesn't have to be, but in this case here, I did put just a slightly larger fret as far as height right here at the 0. All the rest of them are traditional height. So, you know, I could glue it in there, but I don't need to. I think I'm just going to let the strings hold this thing in place. And then it'll look like a nut, but actually the 0 fret here will be the official. This is just a string holder, placeholder. That's what this is, a placeholder. So hopefully you have one of these stores where you live. This shutter hinge kit, this thing is chock full of goodies for cigar box guitar builders. It's got different style of hinges. It's got this, what I call the normal hinge, which is the perfect thickness for your cigar box guitar. Of course, you got to drill another hole in there for the strings, whatever. The other kind of hinge that comes in here are these wraparounds. Now, these wraparounds are good when you have a butt end that sticks out, or you know, a different style of box than this here. It won't work in this box here because this little lip right there. Yeah, the little wraparound will just screw into that. It won't screw into the wood. So, but these are good for, like I said, if you have a butt end sticking out, or different style of attachment of top. Some of the other goodies in here are the little strap buttons, as well as a bunch of screws. Now these screws here are perfect for the inlays. I mean, they're the perfect diameter. And yeah, so I'm telling you, man, these little hinge kits, man, they're worth their weight in gold. So add a little touch. I took the paper that was on the inside of the box, and I used that paper to cover the piezo. Went got a newspaper, and this is the newspaper that advertised for the Southwest Cigar Box Guitar Festival. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to capture all of this dirt and stuff. So as you know, I've been collecting all of the dirt from this cigar box guitar build, and wanted to package it up. I didn't, because I'm just about ready to button this thing up. I wanted to make sure that I captured all of the residue. And there's extra things in here. There's a little dots I had left over from the neck inlay and stuff. We have one of these bags laying around here, so I just figured I'd just package up all of this extra stuff, all of the magic dust. Man, yikes. I got a good idea. How about this? Dump it. All right, guys, that's what you call a bag of dust. Right there. Actually, I think I'm going to call this thing a dirt bag. In addition to the top being more free to vibrate, the string retainer back behind the 0 fret is the oversized saddle. Now, one of the keys to Jeff's tone is that his saddle reaches to the outside edges of the soundboard rather than just the center. So we're gonna try to wiggle this by here by putting the saddle a little bit wider. So anyhow, so that is another tip of the hat to my buddy Jeff Patterson. And because this saddle is Purple Heart, I'm going with the Supreme Hard Wax. Delina. This stuff is from Israel. So anyhow, yes. Yeah, so this wax makes this stuff just pop. So you get the before and the after. And this stuff just smells good too, my gosh. Oh, I wanted to show you guys something here. This is actually pretty cool. These guys here say, it says right here, innovative cutting edge technology made of the highest quality materials, pure science, and dedication. Who else puts that on their product? Pure science and dedication. I'm gonna start putting a sticker on my guitars. Pure science and dedication. Guys, in 100 years from now, when I'm long gone, this thing is still gonna be looking pretty. So yeah, I do have links to this stuff down in the video description below. All right, we are strung up. We got the 44, the 34, and the 26. These are the bronze wound. I did put a little string stretcher there, and then got this thing here. Had kind of work with this to get it to be the right height, but that's to be expected right there. And played around with the saddle and tuned it up. And just as I suspected, this thing is loud. It's loud. And I can always tell if a guitar is going to be responsive just by the harmonics and how many harmonics I can get way up in here. Like, and of course, yep. So, gosh, now what? Obviously, we want to hear what it sounds like plugged in. Well, I like the offset sound holes here. The diagonals, for some reason, it just makes sense to me. I don't know why. I don't know why, but maybe it's because like the down here, it's like it's away from your hand or something. It's just kind of projecting. Same thing up here. You can cover it up. Get a wah-wah sound. Yee. All right, let's plug it in. All right, we are plugging into the Vox Mini. Strings are still stretching. And by the way, you can take and lift up the guitar by each and every string. So I'm holding the guitar by the string and giving it a wiggle, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Give it a stretch, stretch. Get the next string, same thing. By the middle string, give it a stretch. And then finally the high string. The high string, give it a stretch. Now it'll be way out of tune. Not really, huh? Wow. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to experiment and play around with this thing. you.